Hello, this is Bill Morgan, president of Parker University, and with me today is Ann Maurer. Ann, thanks for joining us.
It's great to be here. Bill, how are you?
Great. So you represent the Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance.
I certainly do.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So FTCA, that's short for Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance, is both a social media group as well as a website. What it does is created a marriage between what is philosophy and what is science in terms of the chiropractic profession. It started about 5 years ago. On social media, on Facebook. It started with a number of individuals, both chiropractors as well as chiropractic students, that identified more as conservative, evidence-based chiropractic care. And they felt that they needed some kind of group, some kind of camaraderie in order to connect on social media. And they did. And
so in the continuum, this is where strong philosophy and evidence-based, it tends to be more towards the evidence-based side?
It does tend to be a little more, I guess you could use the word progressive in that terms. It doesn't have heavy roots in chiropractic philosophy. It's definitely a group that is, to use the word, forward thinking, and that it uses a lot of research and elements of research to help guide clinical decision making, as well as how to be a well-informed chiropractor, how to engage in research, or how to engage in other components to be the best chiropractor possible.
Now, when I get onto it, I see that they'll post a research article, and then there'll be a discussion afterwards. Like there's one on a topic of something I like is multifidus inhibition, reflex inhibition of the multifidus. That was just published on somebody posted it yesterday. There's a lot of discussion about that and how that affects how we affect that with spinal manipulation, chiropractic adjustments. So it was kind of an interesting discussion yesterday, but there's all sorts of articles that pop up and things that provoke a reaction.
Oh, absolutely. There's certainly some opinionated members out there, and there's definitely components that are evidence-based, not just research articles. As you know, there's patient values as well as clinical experience that goes into what evidence-informed decision-making involves, especially in a clinical setting. But the chiropractic group, the Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance, is focused on making sure that chiropractors are the best chiropractors possible, that they are using all three elements to become evidence-based, evidence-informed, conservative musculoskeletal care, and providing that for patients. And it's not just for chiropractors, it's also for chiropractic students as well. It's sort of an addition to the education that they get within the four walls of a classroom in order to have a place that they can engage in dialogue, both with fellow students from other schools, but also chiropractors around the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, even a couple in New Zealand and Japan as well. The Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance has over 7,000 members now. I joined when I was a student about 5 years ago, and I joined it about halfway through my schooling at the behest of another chiropractor who's my good mentor, Howie Fiddler.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a great guy. And he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, "You really need to be a part of this group." And I went, okay, another thing to do on social media.
Yeah.
And he went, no, you really need to be part of this group. And it was life-changing when I joined as a student to be able to have access to not just my fellow immediate classmates, but to see sort of that other side, so to speak, things that I would experience after I graduated as a clinician, working with patients, working with personalities, case management, referrals, how to do this, how to do that. And it's been inspirational. It's also been informative and decisive for
some
my
pragmatic
career.
things there too. People will ask clinical questions, or I'm doing this. What's the correct way to bill for this? What's the code I should use? Somebody came in and they'd seen another chiropractor and they told them this wild thing's going on. How do I react to this? So it's kind of a mentorship that takes place, and you're the curator of the Facebook.
I am the Chief Operations Officer. So curator, I don't know if that's an accurate term. We are certainly working on more content creation for our website, which is www.forwardthinkingchiro.com. Being a member is a little bit different in terms of the social media aspect, which is for free, versus the website membership, which is not for free, but we charge a very, very nominal fee in order to join and become a member, which allows you access to a repository of content that's continuously growing, access to our membership map, which allows easy referrals back and forth between evidence-based chiropractors that are also members of the Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance. The MAP is a big piece of
So the Facebook is a funnel into your portal. You have a portal.
I wouldn't say it's a funnel. With changes happening on Facebook, it's definitely easy access, a portal of entry, so to speak, to what the Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance is about. In fact, there's over 7,300 members that are currently on the Facebook group with an 88% activity rate, which means there's always somebody posting.
So that's 10% of all the chiropractors in North America. Of course, you have worldwide membership. But
We do have worldwide membership. So we have chiropractors that hail from Japan. We have chiropractors that hail from different parts of Australia, North America, Canada, Europe, definitely.
it's still close to 10% of the population. There's only 7,000 chiropractors, I believe, in Europe, same as there are in Texas. So that's a big impact.
And about 10 to 15% of our social media members are also website members.
So 10% of 10%. And with it, and you guys, you're not there to grow unbridled. You actually kick people off if they're bad performers or they're trying to solicit from other members. Is that true?
Well, we are focused on creating a kind, gentle place that allows for conversations, in particular chiropractic students who might have questions that they don't always feel comfortable approaching with their faculty members or other classmates. They'll ask questions like, hey, I just learned this. What's your perspective on that? Is this something that's being taught in other chiropractic schools? Is this something that some of our more seasoned doctors have been out in the field for 5, 10, 20 years? Have they encountered this? So it creates a forum for dialogue. It creates a place where students, as well as other doctors, can feel comfortable talking about billing or research articles, or is this something that is taught in other schools? Or what are your thoughts on this? It's definitely a place that we allow that kind of community feeling. In fact, one of the members that I spoke with several months ago, he said, I wish I had found this group sooner. I have felt like I've been on an island for most of my chiropractic career until I found this group. So there's definitely a component for both. The social media aspect is definitely social. There's about several hundred posts that we go through a day.
Wow. It is. I was looking for something that I thought I had read a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, and I started going through, scrolling through, and now I'm just to yesterday.
You want to use that search function.
Yes.
Yeah, we do get a lot of posts, and my moderator team, I want to take a moment to say thank you to them because we are a team, truly a team, and being a part of an organization this large as it continues to grow exponentially, it takes a team effort, and it's been one of the things that has helped me with my career as well, being a part of the Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance team. As Chief Operations Officer, I have the ability to interact with a lot of members on an individual basis, but also be receptive to what things that they're looking for. Content education, for example, looking for different seminars, different discounts with this and that, ways that the Forward Thinking Chiropractic Alliance can not only serve as a forum for discussion, healthy discussion too. Sometimes that discussion can get a little passionate, but also ways of making our chiropractors more successful, whether it's feeling confident in their clinical abilities or providing something that maybe it's a new tool, something new that they can use in their patient care and their daily interactions with their patients, of that sort of being in the trenches, so to speak.
And there's a lot of fun banter that goes back and forth, and some funny memes and comments. It was great to meet probably a couple hundred from this group in Vegas. You guys had your own.
Vegas was a wonderful time. Thank you,
Oh, you're
Dr.
welcome.
Morgan, for putting on Parker Vegas seminars. I'd never been. In fact, I'd never been to Vegas before.
Oh,
I
my
went
goodness.
in February. Can't say I spent too much time outside of the lecture series and doing all the things that Vegas has to offer, but you had a really excellent lineup of speakers that were engaging and educational and interesting all at one.
Well, Vegas is a debaucherous city, so it's my job to keep people off the streets and in those lectures.
And then on the poker table too, I'm sure.
Yeah, we had a really good evidence-based group program. We have this next year. We have even a better lineup. It's we have a chiropractic principles lineup, a business, a CA lineup, a clinical chiropractic, and evidence-based lineups. We have
That's very
5
exciting.
tracks. Yeah, I think people will be very happy. We're trying to hit our headliners for this year. We had, Cal Ripken and Damon John were our headliners last year, and we're trying to find people to beat that. So
It's going to be tough. It's
Yeah.
going to be tough. I know from speaking with a lot of the chiropractors that were in attendance, they loved it.
Oh,
So
good.
you've got your work cut out for you. I think that's a testimonial to how excellent it was this past year. That to top this year for next year, I think it's a challenge, but I also know you're the man for it.
Well, thank you. Well, we're trying to, and I steal this from this phrase from Greg Klotchuk, that we may not unite the profession, but we'd like to reunite the professionals. That we can all come together and break bread together and learn from each other. And like I said, you've probably heard me say this at the seminars, that if your philosophy can't handle a little science, then maybe your philosophy is not strong enough. And if your science can't handle a little philosophy, maybe your science isn't strong enough.
Absolutely. You can't be fully in one camp or the other. You have to have a perspective from both in order to create that happy marriage in the middle.
Amen. Well, thank you for being here today.
Absolutely, Bill. Thank you for having me.